Well, this is an absolute disaster.
You know you want me. This is why you have me in your gym bag.
Did you just talk?
I am perhaps past my expiration date, but you know you want me nonetheless.
I am way too tired, man. The cheese is talking to me.
And tasty.
Your macro split is terrible.
Andre's 9 grams of protein.
But you've also got like 6 grams of fat, and that's a terrible ratio.
Hardly any carbohydrates.
Why do you have an accent? What is that, French? I can't even tell.
France is known for its cheese. All cheese is French. You know you do not like the French, huh? You insult me. How dare you? I'll have you know that my mother was a Wheel of Brie and my father was a very highly respected camembert.
He's right, of course. The cheese isn't really the problem. It's how you're thinking about it. I'm Andrew. Welcome back to Fit the Right Way. And today we're going to give you a new habit. It's called the protein floor, and it just might change your results forever. Most fitness advice just tells you that you have to want it more. You need to be more disciplined and more motivated. Discipline and motivation are limited resources that eventually run out. You may wake up in the morning with 100% motivation, but every decision you have to make, every email you have to answer, every meeting you take, every time your kid needs help with their homework, drains that battery just a little bit more till eventually you're out. By 6 p.m., your motivation battery is pretty much gone. And that's when the wheels fall off. That's when you order pizza, and that's when your gym bag stays in the car. But with the Mindset Primary Protocol, we don't rely on motivation. Instead, we create habits. And when you have your habit floor set, you're consistent. Now let's get down to brass tacks. But before we get into the numbers, let's talk about how we talk about it, because that matters. We don't talk in terms of diets, because when you start saying the word diet, your brain kind of shuts down, because you start thinking that you're going to be starving, you're going to be deprived. This is all about the things that you're not allowed to have and that you're not supposed to eat. We are talking about a nutrition plan here, and that shifts your mindset. When you have a better mindset, it makes establishing habits a lot easier. Restrictive diets are temporary, and they pretty much always fail because they work against your biology. All right, so your first target is your protein floor. Why the floor? Because your protein floor is where you establish your good habits. That's based on your worst day. If we aim for the ceiling all the time, we get demotivated. So let's establish a nutrition plan. And a plan isn't about deprivation, it's about hitting targets. For our purposes, your first target is going to be 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal body weight. So if you want to be 180 pounds lean, you should be getting 180 grams of protein in your diet every day. Now that's an estimate, and we'll get into the specifics of why that works in just a minute. So sit tight and stick around. Most areas of our life, we talk about hitting ceilings. That's our perfect day. We're talking about the floor. Why the floor? Because that is your default. The protein floor is your non-negotiable safety net. It's your minimum habit, even on your worst, most chaotic day. All right, hold on. Before we go any further, let's talk about some hard truth. If you hit your protein goal and you're not actually doing the work to force your body to change, all you're doing is you're making your grocery store richer. You need to provide appropriate stimulus to utilize all that protein. But now, let's talk about why 1 gram is the magic number. So I'm sure you've seen fitness influencers eating 300 grams of protein a day. Let's talk about the actual science. For muscle growth, 1 gram is pretty much the magic number. It's not only your functional floor, it's also your functional ceiling. We're talking about something called muscle protein synthesis, or MPS for short. And what the science shows is that there's a curve, and that curve flattens out. After about 1 gram per pound of goal body weight, your body just can't utilize it. So all you're doing is you're burning up expensive energy. And we're here for the facts, not the fads, and we're certainly not here for the extra fat, because what's going to happen is excess calories are getting stored as fat, and that's really not what we're trying to do. So remember, for all practical purposes, once you've hit your protein floor, you've also hit your peak. The floor and the ceiling are pretty much the same number. You don't have to go any further than that. All right, you ready to get nerdy? Now, if you go deep into the literature, you're going to find that the limit for muscle protein synthesis is right around 0.82 grams per pound of lean body mass. But you're not going to know what your lean body mass unless you know exactly what your body fat percentage is. And unless you happen to have access to a DEXA scan or want to pay an awful lot of money for one on a regular basis, you're just going to be guessing. And we don't guess here. So instead of guessing, we use a proxy substitute. And that's why we say 1 gram per pound of goal weight. That accounts for you being probably at about 20% body fat, which is fairly typical for most people that are a little overweight, but not severely overweight. The more overweight you are, the larger the gap is. So we don't want to spend too much time worrying about that specific number. We use the proxy 1 gram per pound of goal body weight, and for the vast majority of people, that's going to be sufficient. You should talk to your doctor before engaging in any diet or exercise plan, just in general. It's a good idea. Get blood work done and keep an eye on your numbers. Is that a little more than you technically need? Yeah, it probably is a little more than you technically need, but it accomplishes a couple of things. First of all, it sets a safety floor, and that's going to protect your muscles during your high stress weeks, especially when you're not getting enough exercise in, because chances are you're not going to get enough exercise sometimes. The other thing that it accomplishes is a high protein diet contributes to satiety. It's going to give you a feeling of being full, and you're less likely to overeat. 2 birds, 1 stone. It's just a really good shortcut. And it's what we call a low friction entry point. It's the easiest math in the world. The less you have to think, the less decisions you have to make, the easier it is for you to be consistent. And consistency is everything. If you eat a large chicken breast and a double dose of protein powder in a shake, that's probably already 100 grams banked. It's not that difficult. So how do you hit your protein floor? Well, the way I do it actually is with a significant amount of protein powders, just like I talked about. I also use a significant amount of egg whites. Eggs are a fantastic source of protein. You do probably want to watch your cholesterol, so you don't want to have too many in a day, which is why I use egg whites rather than whole eggs, because all the cholesterol is in the yolks. Truthfully, most people are overly concerned about cholesterol because in a reasonably balanced diet, your liver is generating more cholesterol than you could ever eat. But again, listen to your doctor first. And if you're avoiding meat, even if you're avoiding poultry, tofu is a fantastic source of protein. There's a lot of myths about vegan diets, but there's absolutely no reason that you cannot get the sufficient protein and meet your goals on a vegan diet. There are even vegan protein powders, which I personally use. Wait, stop. I can already hear you saying, Andrew, I can't possibly eat that much food. I'll get fat and my kidneys will explode. You don't need to eat 10 chicken breasts a day. And we're going to give you some resource optimization hacks, for lack of a better word here, that are better than any of those videos that say, this food is 1,000,000 times better than egg whites. Because they're not. Our first move is going to be the breakfast pivot. A lot of people start their day with maybe a bagel and some cream cheese or a bowl of cereal, and that's maybe 10 grams of protein and about 60 grams of carbs. Again, carbs aren't your enemy, but you need to up your protein. So our pivot is going to be a couple of eggs, some egg whites, and maybe some Greek yogurt. And you can easily boost your protein floor up to about 30, 40 or more grams first thing in the morning. It's a good way to start. Some egg whites and some Greek yogurt will easily put you over the top. The second pivot is going to be your liquid secret. So say it's 9 o'clock at night and you're like 30 or 40 grams short of your goal. You're not going to cook a steak at 9 p.m. I don't know, maybe you are. I'm not going to. But what you can do is you can have a protein shake. You can use whey or casein or a vegan protein powder. They all accomplish pretty much the same thing. For our purposes, there's not a really huge difference. You're not a competitive bodybuilder. It's not going to make or break you. Pick one that you like. It gives you about 30 grams in 30 seconds. Easy, fast, effective. Now, point number 3 here is you also want to keep your fiber up. You can do this by just eating fruits and vegetables throughout the day, which are low calorie and high satiety, or you can add some psyllium husk supplementation as well. Just don't overdo it. There is a balance to be had here. All right, now let's address some of the myths about protein that I'm sure you've heard. Myth number 1, your body can only absorb 30 grams of protein during one meal. It's not true. If you have more than 30 grams, your body's just going to take a little bit longer to process and digest it, and it will utilize that protein over a longer period of time during the day. Your body's pretty smart. It knows what to do. It'll figure it out. Myth number 2, protein powder is cheating. Okay, so whey protein is literally just powdered milk. Well, basically, more like powdered cheese. You get the idea. It's food, and it's real food. It does the job. It can be expensive, and we're going to look at better approaches to that in another video, but there's nothing wrong with using protein powder out of convenience if that helps you hit your goal. Myth number 3, too much protein is bad for your kidneys. Okay, so unless you have a pre-existing kidney condition or a chronic history of kidney disease, you're going to be fine. Your organs actually need protein, and if organs like your kidneys and your liver and your spleen don't get enough protein, they're going to rob your skeletal muscles to get that protein, and that's not what we want. So unless you've already got some kidney disease and your doctor has specifically told you to stay away from it, you're going to be fine. 1 gram per pound of goal weight is not dangerous. Now, if you go 2, 3, 4 times that, that's probably not a smart approach. And again, if you suspect that you have any medical conditions that contraindicate a high protein diet, talk to your doctor and listen to your doctor first. So remember, the protein floor is your metabolic anchor, but you need to utilize all that protein and put it to work doing some muscle protein synthesis. You need what I call in another video, the Milo method, progressive overload, and you can find out all about that in this video over here. This shift from motivation to habits is what we do every day in the Long Game Collective. So if you're ready to stop following fads and start taking real control over your health and your fitness, hit that subscribe button. We're building a different kind of community here. So your homework for tomorrow, stop worrying about eating less and start thinking about eating smarter. Hit your protein floor. That's where it all starts. I'm Andrew, this is Fit the Right Way. Now go hit your targets and we'll see you in the next video.